So, good evening. We're back again. Podcast settings. Kind of liking doing it on a Sunday. I can't lie. The day after the games. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Rather than doing it before the game, we do it after the game. And we got the win. It weren't pretty, but we 2 moments of brilliance. We won the game. Gabriel Martinelli coming off the bench and giving the manager a headache. And Jez, for anybody who didn't see your fan cam, I know we did a shortened version of player ratings yesterday. Just give
Sorry.
No, it's all right, mate. It's all right. I know you're a busy boy, mate. Give the viewers your little breakdown of the game from yesterday and how you see it, mate.
Yeah, ball fest first half. Just no style of play. We all know that. How many times I've got to say it? Saka started, got injured. We've been saying it for weeks, and now it's happened. And he could be out for maybe a month if he's got. I don't know the injury. Looked like a groin strain, but it unleashed the Martinelli that we've been waiting for, and comes on 2 minutes later, scores a goal. Arteta looks absolutely shell-shocked because he's like, fucking hell, he scored. That's mucked up my game plan. And now I might have to start him against Man United. Oh, dear. So, yeah, Project Youth, banged. The evolution happened. So, yeah, it wasn't great. The second half was better. There was a lot more. The game opened up, and Tavares gave him man of the match. I thought he's awesome yesterday, and one thing I will say, our defence looks more solid. Ben White, couldn't fault him, and Tomiyasu, he was a vital for man of the match. Ramsdale, well, what can I say? Jury's still out, but I rate the fella. Didn't want him, but I'm first put my hands up and say, at the moment, I've got it totally asked about tit. So, yeah, it's another 3 points. We're only now down to a -2, so that's not bad. And for those people that were commenting yesterday about top 4, get a life. Get a life. Because top 4, third loser, this team in Europe, we would be embarrassed. We were embarrassed before with Wenger. Let's get it right. Arsenal have never, ever been a great European football team. We've won the Fairs Cup, 69-70. We've won the Cup Winners' Cup, and we got to European Cup final and lost. So don't gas yourselves up, people, about Arsenal being a big force in Europe, because we ain't.
Yeah, never have been, really. Let's be real. And when we look at the tricky Blues down in West London, they're the ones in London that are the force in Europe, mate. It's kind of sad, really, but it is what it is. Kenny, listen, I know you was busy yesterday. That's why we did the shortened version. For anybody who hasn't watched your fan cam, make sure you check the fan cams out after this podcast, people. Go and check them all out. I had Wax Online as well. He came on yesterday. First time he's been on the channel. We're going to start doing some more stuff, me and him. Good lad he is. And a lot of you have been asking for him to come on. Also Brandon as well. And Matt, the Southern Gooner. Go and check all the fan cams out later. But Kenny, for anyone who ain't seen your fan cam, you was at the game. Was it as boring in that first half live than it was for us on TV? Or what was the atmosphere like as well? I always like to ask you that because obviously Newcastle were bottom of the table, and it was hard work at times, that game, wasn't it?
Well, the thing is that people talk about the atmosphere at the Arsenal, and I always say to people about the atmosphere, especially at the Emirates, is that the Emirates is only rocking for one game and one game only, and that's Spurs. Apart from that, it doesn't really rock. The crowd reacts to good football. they'll react to a good performance against Chelsea, a good performance against Man United. But in terms of like buzz and anticipation, the payday in terms of that, if you're looking for the atmosphere payday, is Spurs at home. But in terms of like the game itself, it was one of those things where I don't know. I can't speak for everyone else because there was I have to admit, Newcastle are bottom of the table, and there is a lot of confidence going to that game that we should beat them. But we just came off a thrashing by Liverpool, so the nerves kind of kicked in a bit because of that. But for me, I just knew how Newcastle were going to set up. They'd have been pork chops to do anything else. They got some players of great experience, some good players, but when you're in that bottom of the table, they're only going to shut up shop, and it was always going to be a situation where we needed their quality to come through. Which Lacazette was arguably left out because Odegaard was meant to open that door, but he actually didn't. There was two chances of memory. Saka slipped before he had that chance, and Aubameyang is obviously going to be a theme of this show because that's the biggest elephant at Arsenal Football Club, and I think more and more people around the grounds during the match, after the match as well, the topic of conversation is Aubameyang, and it's not nice. It's to a certain extent that he's got very, very few allies. I think the only ally he probably has is probably a couple of people in the fan camps, especially one person who suggested that anyone who criticised Aubameyang is a hater. But I say to that person who suggested that, remember one thing, that you support Arsenal Football Club, and the club is always a star. It's bigger than any player, bigger than any manager, bigger than any board member, and bigger than any person, fan with an opinion. And the fact is that you're in a club of one. You should perhaps watch the game rather than give people kudos, because if you actually watch the game, your any of your comments or analysis of the game would be a lot better if you concentrate on the match itself. No one's asking you to show any loyalty to that person because that person might have appeared on a channel, or maybe played well last year, year before, and it's got a big reputation. Just talk about the game, please. That's all we ask. That's all you need there for the game. Nothing else, nothing more.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Big up to everybody watching live, man. 350 in here already. Make sure you smash the likes up. Subscribe to the channel as well. Big up to everybody who's put super chats in as well. Appreciate it. If I don't read them, I'll always reply in the comments when I pin them. Obviously, it stops the flow of the show at some points, but I will always respond to them in the comments. But let's talk about Martinelli. Obviously, Jez, came off the bench. It was a forced substitution yesterday, not a unforced. I don't think he would have got on the pitch if Saka hadn't have gone down. What did you make of Saka staying on for about 5 minutes after he initially went down as well? Because I just thought I was ripping my hair out, mate. I was like, listen, we've been playing this kid week in, week out. He's played more games under this manager than any other player in the squad. He's played 83 games for this manager in 2 years, right? And we're going to obviously have him as a mainstay going forward. So why didn't he just sub him with the game on Thursday in mind? And then obviously Martinelli came on. What a goal. And do you think he has a chance to start now?
Well, look, let's get it right. I ain't got a lot of hair. But when Saka went down and they kept him on, he was down, he got up, he went down, he got up, and eventually he stayed down. I'm putting my hair up, the little bits I've got. This guy, Arteta, what is it about him when he has an injured player? He's done it with Partey. He's done it with, again, yesterday. It was a false substitution. Martinelli came on, 2 minutes, bangs a worldie. As I said on the fan cam or whatever, Lee, that was top class. You cannot teach a player to score a goal like that. He pointed to Tomiyasu. He's pointing, I want the ball there. Tomiyasu delivered. Great pass. He's watching that ball come over, gets it, bosh, top bin. And that shows the class of that boy. And it shows his quality. It shows his ambition that he wants to prove something. And Arteta I'm sure you're probably watching this tonight because I'm sure you always do. Play the boy, start him on Thursday night against Man U, and give him a chance. For fuck's sake, he's proved himself. He scores goals, and your actions yesterday and the look of horror on your face that he'd scored, yet you're then making out that you've made the greatest substitution in world's football history. Fuck off. All the time you're here, man, you're just going to drag this club down further. And, we see it, it's so delusional that we get these Arteta sexuals, little fangirls, sitting in their back bedrooms, having a little jizz off that Arteta's the greatest fucking manager in the world. You ain't, and you fucking shit, and get out.
Jez ain't having it. Jez is not having it.
Hey, before I get in, Jez made a point about, the Arteta sexuals, about, boys and girls. And apparently it's come to my attention that I'm an Arteta hater, and one of the people we may describe as one of them, decided that rather than keep their counsel and treat Twitter as a football opinion page, that person decided to tell everyone that they couldn't make a couple of matches, and they thought that would be a topic of interest and conversation. We all have reasons not to miss a match. We don't tell everyone about it, but the thing is now, it's a theme on social media is that if you're Arteta out, you should go and support another club, or you should go forth and multiply. But the buzzwords is there are still concerns about our attack. No one can get away from that. We're concerned. But if you go to any other opinion page, blog, vlog, podcast, they've got the same concerns as well, because I think collectively we're happy with the way we're defending as the first front line, the goalkeeper, great leader of defence. Then you've got the back four, and people working hard and to support midfield. So we're happy with that. But goals win your matches. You know what I mean? Whether we like it or not. A goal scorer is basically the Pamela Andersons that get the deal signed, get everyone buying the magazines, watching the TV shows, and the guys at the back, they're just the people with great personalities. And it's still a massive concern, especially getting into this busy period now. We've got Man United, then we've got Everton, then we've got Southampton, West Ham, and then we've got Leeds as well. And then you have a bit of respite with with the Sunderland in the cup, which I'm going to say categorically we are going to win. We'll be in a semi-final draw. I repeat, we are going to beat Sunderland, and if anyone's having a free hit, it'll be Sunderland having a free hit, not Arsenal having any free hits.
It'd be interesting to see how seriously we take this, because if we do get to the semi, which I think we will, it's funny because all of the people that have spent years saying it's a shit cup will all of a sudden be dancing up and down that we're one game away from, or 2 games away from winning.
They should do, because a cup's a great day out and it's very exciting. It'd be, if we get to the cup final, it's exciting for you in terms of what you're doing. You're going to get up, shoulders out, get your show ready, boom, boom, boom. Stressing about, oh yeah, I'm going to put this tag here and this tag here. It's exciting. We were at the game in the League Cup final against Man City. Cold as anything, worse than it is.
Man, that was it was actually colder 4 days later when we played Man City again.
I actually phoned a good friend of ours, Kate. I said, Kate, what shall I wear? Shall I wear the leg warm? Shall I wear the sort of bicycle top,
the long johns,
or long johns, or shall I wear a coat? I said, Ken, coat now. So I had to go get a coat. So it is one of those things. But you have to, it's about trophies. I mean, we just see something on Sky Sports. I don't know if you saw it in Spain, but Keane and Carragher were arguing about whether Man United should be challenged for league or trophies. It's always trophies for me, but the league is always the iron in the cake. And Jez says, top 4. I stand by what Jez says. We are not a European power. I didn't grow up with Arsenal being European power. Regrettably, Spurs have actually done better in Europe than us. That hurts me badly. And even more regrettably is that Chelsea are more of a European powerhouse as well. So when you talk about European powerhouse and London clubs, yes, we've had longer participation in the Premier European competition. But let's face it, mate, we didn't lay a glove on any of the teams we played. Even when we had these great sides under our sin, we were basically shadow boxing and basically one of those people who just made the numbers up in the competition. And let's face it, even that's why I always stand by what you both say. If you're in the Champions League, fantastic, but compete, win it. Don't be just win it. Try and win the competition. Don't fear PSG. Don't fear Barcelona. Don't fear any team. You got there because you're one of the best teams in Europe, and believe that. But if you're going to go there and not believe that, don't waste my time or any other fans' time participating in it.
100%. Like, look, at the end of the day, it's all about winning, mate. The aim of elite level sport is to not come fourth, is it? It's to come first, right? So we've spent 2 decades getting Champions League football to never even win the Champions League. We've got to 1 semi and 1 final.
Sorry, one more point about, because Jez mentioned Martinelli as well. Biggest elephant is, it's now or never now. If Saka's got a groin injury, feels like, it's between him and Pepe for that pace, that berth. And he said maybe Lacazette, because I think regrettably, whether we like it or not, Odegaard is going to be a mainstay in his team as long as his manager is here. Which means you are going to see this kind of, Stefan Schwartz performances we saw in midfield as well, where Stefan Schwartz, excellent player, but not good enough to play, not suited to English football. Great, great midfield for Fiorentina, for Sweden. When I see Odegaard, I see Stefan Schwartz.
Do you know what I see? I just see somebody that, like, I don't know what he does. Like, honestly, because he's not the kind of person that's going to get the ball, dribble past 4, drop a shoulder and ping a shot. Right? He ain't that player. He's not the player that's going to spray 50-yard diagonal balls and it's all going to look pretty. Right? He's not the type of player that really has any shots. Yeah, we've seen that so far in the time that he's been here since January last year with the loan, and then obviously full-time this time. And he don't really create a great deal. So what's his job? Why? What's he there for? Because when I watched him yesterday, I counted every time he passed backwards. I was like, oh, look, another backwards pass. Oh, look, you've gone backwards again. Oh, he's gone sideways this time. Yeah, oh, that one's sideways, but it's kind of just backwards. So is that backwards or sideways? But either way, it's just a pretty Mohamed El Neni. That's all he is. Yeah, that's all he is. And some of these players, right, I look at them and I think they've got global status because of their age and the club that they signed for at that age. He is definitely in that category on both, right? Because he was 15 when he signed for Madrid and he's played 11 times for Real Madrid in his whole life. He's played more times for Arsenal last season on loan than he ever did for Madrid. We then brought him, right? And when we signed him on loan, I was like, well, I'd rather just sign him. Why have him on loan? If we're going to buy him, buy him. But then thinking about it, it kind of did us a favour that he was on loan because I see enough of him after 3 games last season or since January, to go, no, he ain't good enough. He ain't got it, right? And I thought, right, we've got rid of that one. We're going to get Maddison, who, by the way, all the people that were running their mouth to me about James Maddison being shit and he's not scored any goals and this and that, By the way, James Maddison scored again today. He scored in midweek. He scored again today and he scored 3 times more goals than Martin Odegaard this season. And Odegaard won't ever catch him again. And other than a free kick against Burnley, can anyone tell me what he's done this season? Like, I genuinely don't understand what he brings to the table, mate. And there was a
he had a goal. He had Aubameyang's trying to nick one of his goals off him.
Still a goal.
So he would have had 2 goals. He would have had 2 goals, wouldn't he?
Well, yeah, I suppose so. Again, we'll come to Aubameyang in a little bit, right? But I just look and I think, what do we look for in a player in that position? Because me personally, I look for somebody that's going to score. They're going to have shots. They can dribble past a man. They can spot a pass. I'm kind of naming Dennis Bergkamp here with all of these traits, aren't I? Maybe my standards are too high. I don't know. Yeah, but I just think like somebody
The
that's
standards should be high, Lee. If you bang 30 odd million out on a midfielder, you know, we're not looking at Messi and people like that. But you know, come on, this guy cannot. I don't honestly ever have seen him yet take on a defensive opposition player and try and go past him, because every time he does, he either falls over or he gives the ball away. You know, like Kenny, you've got to get him down that fucking gym with you.
You know,
bangers. You've got to get.
Well, that's what they told me. That's what they told me 25 years ago when, 26 years ago when Dennis first started. You know, he said get him to one of the gyms in Fuji Park. I gave Dennis a call. I said, Dennis, you're getting knocked off the ball too much. This is English football. You know, don't have it. You know, you look like the Milky Bar kid, and I'll still want you to look like the Milky Bar kid, but I want them to realise that you've got an iron fist and you've got a nice little elbow and you've got these big shoulders. So after about 6 months of working with me, the 96-97 season, he played his best football. So I will take an assist for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, when you've got a player like Odegaard, he's got something there, but it ain't great. And you know, yesterday, the amount of times, I mean, I know Newcastle are quite a physical team. They've got some big, muscly defenders, but he just gets banged off the ball all the bloody time. You know, he just falls over. As I said yesterday, Lee, maybe he needs some new boots. Maybe we should do a fund me on here to get him some decent boots. I don't know.
Longer studs.
Yeah, something like that, because they're clearly not working, man. And oh dear,
I've just brought up his stats in the Premier League. Right, he's played 25 games Premier League since he's been at Arsenal, like from his loan. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists. Right, goals per match 0.08. This is apparently the creative spark. This is the guy that's going to elevate us up the table. Right. It then goes through a load of irrelevant things like goals with right foot, goals with left-headed goals. They're all 0. Goals with left foot 2. Penalty scored 0. Free kicks 1. In the 25 games or 25 appearances, because they ain't full games, right? He has had 21 shots, of which only 6 are on target. One of them was the free kick. One of them was the other goal, right? So take them 2 goals out that he scored. Right, he's had 19 shots in 23 games. His shooting accuracy is 29%, but out of all of his total shots, which is 21, he's only had 6 on target. So his conversion rate from scoring is pretty decent because he's had 2 goals out of 6 shots on target, right? But this is the stat that I thought was more worrying. 1 yellow card and 5 fouls in 25 games. That tells me he ain't getting stuck in.
No.
5 fouls in 25 games. He doesn't make a foul. He makes 1 foul every 5 games, which tells me he's a bit of a wimp and he ain't getting stuck in.
Well, you mentioned the Tottenham game before we went 1-0 up, where you felt that Ndombele was manhandling physically and was winning that kind of battle. You know, before we got the first goal, where Dyer decided to push up, and then after that, we took the impetus that enabled him to play better and be more influential. But it didn't actually start. The game didn't start like that.
Very true.
Mad. 2 goals since he's come on loan, and this season it's mad, mate. It's actually insane. Like his tackle success is 43%, and he's only made 21 tackles in 25 appearances. Like, again, that tells me you don't get stuck in, right? Jules won 58. Jules lost 73. 50-50 successfuls, 16. Aerial battles won 9. Well, he ain't tall, is he? Aerial battles lost 18, right? I want to try and find the passes if I can find it, because that'll tell us quite a lot as well. I don't think I can see it on it. I don't know how you do it. Passes forward and backwards, because last time I checked it, he was passing the ball backwards more than forwards, right? And that, I'm sorry, but I understand that sometimes you're going to be on the edge of the box. They're going to have a park the bus formation. You have to go sideways and backwards. I get all of that, yeah. But he's very rarely on the edge of the box. He's normally on the right wing or floating around 25 yards out from goal or 30 yards out from goal. And it's not like he's doing little intricate give and goes. I don't really get what he does, mate.
I mean, I think, I don't know about yourself, Jez, but I think me and Lee were massive, not so much critics, we were massively frustrated with Mesut Ozil in terms of the fact that I think, collectively, I think myself and Lee recognised that he had natural footballing ability that a lot of players just don't have, not just at the football club, but just around world football. And I can only speak for myself. I was very excited when we signed him, and obviously it was one of those. Yeah, you said you were just about to go abroad, or you're abroad when you found out. I got a journalist just, I was having a chat with about Hillsborough. He went, "Oh yeah, by the way, good news, Mesut Ozil was come to the football club." And obviously the hairs on the back of my, on my back just went, Mesut Ozil. And I was so excited because of what I saw. Werder Bremen, Germany under 21s, Germany and Real Madrid. But one thing what Mesut did, we could never accuse Mesut of not passing the ball forward. At least he did try to pass the ball forward. Obviously, he disappeared in games, and he did try to interchange positions. Obviously, Wenger and tried to accommodate in the side, but his performances left a lot to be desired. But at least he tried to pass the ball forward. This guy, is Ozil light, but he tends to lend the ball a lot how do I say? He lends the ball a lot to Partey or Albert, or he lends it back to defence when we actually want him to lend the ball in the sort of last third. Like basically the danger areas where he can create to Aubameyang, lend the ball to Smith Rowe, lend the ball to Lacazette or Pepe, and then go forward and run off them. Which sometimes Mesut did, but we don't see it from this guy. We don't see any diamonds for him. And
he doesn't seem to have the ability to make that incisive, clinical pass where he's, I don't think I've ever seen him make that defence-splitting pass that allows Lacazette, Aubameyang, Saka or ESR to run onto the ball and try and slot it. I don't think I've ever seen it. It's more like it bounces off a defender, or he ends up passing it sideways to Partey or whoever. We need a midfielder that can actually make that punch through that defence, scare the shit out of the central defenders, and cause trouble. We don't have that.
Right. See, that's the thing about it, Jez, is that we watch it. Obviously, we're all football fans as well as Arsenal fans. So we see sometimes you'll see De Bruyne, boom, quick pass.
Yep.
You think, how do you do that? We even seen Cancelo
don't even
doing
look
it.
half the time.
We even seen Cancelo doing it, from a left back position. And obviously you see Alcantara at Liverpool doing the same sort of thing. Boom, quick pass, and all of a sudden, and then you see, if you see Ziyech today, what he was doing is that the reverse ball, where basically he's not looking, reverse ball pass, and it gets James in the game. I don't see much of that from Martin. I don't see that. It's like he's still trying to find a way.
Some more detailed stats on him, right? Per 90 minutes this season. Average passes per 90 minutes is 33. Passes into the final third is 15, right? The total passes is 121st in the Premier League for total passes, right, per 90. Passes into the final third. Bear in mind, this is the creative spark, right?
Exactly.
15. So the other 18 are not going into the final third, right? Which is cool because it might be part of a build-up play, right? But it's still 63rd in the Premier League. Passes into the penalty box, 78th in the Premier League, 3.4. And most of them are aimless crosses, right? Then it comes up with a metric that says pass progression value, right? I'm not really big on stats, but I even know this is shit, right? And this backs up what I'm seeing with my eyes. His pass progression value, which means how good your passes are going forward, is 0.03, which is 90th in the league. Like, that there tells me he just ain't fucking good enough. Playmaking stats, total assists, none. Key passes, 0.55 per game. XG build up, I don't really know what that fucking means, if I'm honest, 0.45. And expected assists, again, another stupid metric, 0.04. But in all of them, he's way down the chart of other players in the league, right? And I know, like, people are saying, well, he ain't really played a full 90 minutes recently and this and that. Mate, it's irrelevant. Like, the guy is not good. Like, the guy is not really doing a great deal when he's on the pitch, apart from just pretty little sideways and backwards passes. Like,
well, that's not what we signed him for, because we're the biggest elephant in the room. Because remember, we were talking. You know, it was only about probably about not even 18 months, less than that, when we were looking at Usama Wow, and Leon was saying, well, you either meet our evaluation or you don't. And then all of a sudden, he didn't have a great season. Then you had, the journo, wannabe journo types. Says, oh, he's not really that good. He hasn't had a good season. I was, hang on it. We were about to break the bank for both him and Thomas. So, he is still, him and wow, is still what we need. Obviously, James Maddison as well, something. But, what James Maddison does as well, there's a goal threat, there's free kicks as well. But what's happening as well, he is prepared to make that run off the defenders. And that's what I want from Martin. I want that sort of situation. That's what a creative player should do. Great. And get on the and be like the fourth striker. Just get in there. But he doesn't do it.
And that's the thing. All three of us see a number 10, even though Smith Rowe's got it on his back. Yeah, Martin Odegaard's basically a number 10, right? So why isn't he in the box? And let me just deal with this geezer real quick. Moan. Mate, there's hundreds of other channels out there, Samuel. So if you don't like what we're saying, then feel free to leave the stream and go and find somebody that's live.
Isn't the Gooner Talk on? They do a show. You can hear, Mr. Canton talk about, try to be funny and listen to his mate from New
they're
York.
Live now, mate.
Talk about Gegen Prep.
Yeah, they're live.
Go over and speak. I'm sure he's going to talk about his expertise in the Bundesliga, even though it's an Arsenal show. Go over there, Samuel. I'm sure they'll have you.
Let's see if AFTV are live. Maybe you can go watch them. No, they're not live. So yeah. Maybe go and check them out, mate. I don't know. Maybe go and do that if you don't like moan. I
actually know them very well. I can give you their numbers, and then maybe they can have you on, because I know them very well.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, and they'd be very accommodating. They could do with the views as well.
Yeah, the thing is, Kenny Lee, between us three here, we've been to thousands of Arsenal football matches, thousands of games in total. I don't need stats to actually look at a player or players to say he's good. My eyes tell me, we've all got years and years of experience watching football, whether it's Arsenal on TV, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, whoever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Stats can give you a false impression. My eyes tell me, and my brain tells me whether a player is good or he's crap. And I'm sorry, for all the years I've been watching football, Odegaard is crap. And he will never be any good. If he was going to be any good, Real Madrid would have had him.
Or at least had a buyback clause on him.
Exactly. So
which they ain't. Because Chelsea have got rid of Tammy Abraham with a buyback clause, mate.
Let's put it to the sword. Martin Odegaard, well done for getting your contact in Arsenal and faking a fucking living. Because, you ain't going to do fuck all here. And I'll put my hand up and I'll say, when we got Aaron Ramsdale, I was like, oh my days, what are we doing? He's proved me wrong. We know that things can change over time. But at this point in time, Lee and Kenny, I've got to put my hand up and say, fair play to you, fella, because you've told me wrong. But it ain't often I get confused by a player or I get it wrong.
No, and that's because of the amount. And this ain't a disrespect to people that can't make it to games. Listen, you were fortunate enough to be born fucking right next to the stadium, mate. Yeah, and Kenny's lucky enough to have been born around the corner from the stadium as well. Like, and you're lucky enough to be able to go to games every week. Not everyone can do that, and it don't make you a better fan. Don't make you more knowledgeable on the game. But I'll tell you the one thing it does do, right? It does show you the whole pitch, which you don't see on TV, right? And this is why I said this yesterday to you, I think, Kenny. What was it? What was this player? I can't remember which player it was. I think it might have been Aubameyang, maybe. I can't remember. And I said, obviously, we follow the ball on TV, where the camera where the ball goes. You can see everything. So you can not even follow the ball if you don't want to. You can just have a look at him over there and see what he's doing. I watched Ronaldo today when he came on, right? And even though the ball was right over the other side, the camera hadn't already panned all the way round there and zoomed in on the ball over there. And I see Ronaldo just walking, like down that left wing. He was walking, right? And then he half-ass presses, right? And when I say half-ass presses, he'll trot, he'll move, yeah, but he won't go and stick his foot in. He won't go and really go with determination. And then what he'll do, they'll jink it round him, and then he'll just go and stand and like try and cut an angle off, right? Which will work to a certain degree in certain formations with certain teams, right? When I look at our players, most of our players, I don't know whether he tells them to press. I don't know whether he tells them one player to press and the rest to sit back. I don't know what the trigger is. I don't know what they're doing when we do press. It's like, well, you've pressed, but then I see Lacazette saying, well, why aren't you pressing? It's like, I don't see.
I think what's happening is when you go to the Emirates, one thing is right is that, you know, Mikel is very much a hands-on manager. He is constantly coaching them during the matches. You know, they really need to put a blood pressure monitor on the guy, because he's telling people whenever Newcastle, you know, like I said, kind of break lines to try and get out of the wing, he's screaming, get there, get there, get there. And then whenever we get the ball, he's going forward. It's just like Thomas Tuchel as well. He's like, get there, because he's very much big on getting numbers forward and things. Mikel hates teams to have more, you know, he hates a situation where the team's attacking and it's a 3-on-3. He always wants us to have an extra player there in kind of security. He gets absolutely furious if we're outnumbered on a counter attack. You could tell him, go, get there. And I think that's the thing with the players as well, is that, is it him, or are these players of a situation where they need to be micro-coached because they don't know the game? There's no leaders on the field who could say, you know what, Mikel...
That's a great point, man.
Mikel, do yourself a favour, mate. You know, STFU. We're in charge here. It's our game. You just do your job. You stand there and encourage, because I know what to do. I'm in charge. I'm the manager in the field.
Great point, Jimmy.
Great point.
So if there is a manager in the field, then there's no wonder why Mikel is organising the troops, because he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to do that. But then again, if you criticise Mikel, in which we've done a lot of times, but then again, so's Thomas Tuchel doing it, because when we played Chelsea, when we
was doing it today,
yeah, definitely, because he's a massive. He believes that in terms of, like, he's actually trying to copy his Conte. We have wing backs, one stays back, one attacks. So basically, invariably, whenever one of the wing backs, the left wing back, stays back, he was shouting at Reece James, get there.
Yeah, because he knows he's still got four defenders back,
three
centre backs and the wing back.
But it was more like when Chelsea were in the attack to kind of take the game away from us, where if you look at Reece James, the reason why he's scoring a lot of goals is because what's happening right now is that when Chelsea are in an attack, instead of them being a 3 and sometimes a 4 trying to walk forward the midfield, Reece James sneaks on and makes it a 5. So you've got 3 defenders, people trying to chase back. Reece James is free. Get the ball out of Reece James. On and goal, scores. That's what he's got, and that's what, you know, Tuchel likes his wing backs in terms of Reece James. Reece James And his other mate, from Milton Keynes, bloody hell, what's he?
Chilwell.
Other mate, Chilwell, yeah. That's it. Get them. Be the extra man.
Woburn Lions, mate. They're a sick football team.
I know, yeah. So, and I think what it is that Mikel doesn't have a leader in the field to do that. He relied very heavily on David Luiz, who's no longer with us, and he probably bought, William to be that sort of person. And I think that's what Arsenal needs in order to stop the confusion, stop the manager going, get there, get back. Don't let us get overloaded on the defence. We need to make overloads further forward. We need someone in there who's got a bit of us to say, Mikel, STFU, I can do it. I'm in charge. Don't relax.
Do you think though that comes down to because you might be onto something here, right? Because Mikel Arteta is a modern football coach, right? But he's also been under a manager in Arsene Wenger or a coach in Arsene Wenger and worked under Pep, right?
Oh, Pep's another micromanager. He's another person that...
Pep sits there looking all cool, sipping his water bottle when a goal goes in, but he's always up shouting and barking orders, right?
I'm surprised none of the Man City fans haven't said STFU, mate. We won enough trophies. We know how to play football. You know what I mean?
No, but do you know what? Sometimes you need to manage these big egos, man. But do you think that because Mikel is more of a modern style of manager, and then you look at somebody like Klopp, for example, or even Pep, right? The footballers now are more snowflakey than they were when we were growing up, right? You could, I remember, was it Dixon? They pinned him up against the wall and said, "We don't fucking lose this game. It's Tottenham." Yeah, and Adams and Keown or Adams and Bold, whoever it was, and he was like, "Fucking hell, I'm shitting myself going out on the pitch." Could you imagine that happening now? It just wouldn't happen, right?
Well, they're all mates now. They're all hugging each other.
They're all kissing and hugging in the
before international football.
But do you think because some managers have evolved through that? One of them that's not done it as well as others is Jose. Funny enough, because I do like Jose, I do rate him, but he's not evolved with real nowadays football. He's still living in 2004, 2005.
Well, but the thing is that his record, there's going to be a time in about maybe 3 or 4 years' time when he'll be like, managers like George Graham, who just can't manage in Northern football because they just haven't got this kind of
that way.
Can I just make a point? We've watched a lot of Arsenal under Arteta. Can you actually say to me who was in command as an Arsenal player on the pitch yesterday?
I can't think of one.
No,
there isn't one. There isn't one because
Aubameyang is not a captain man. He's
not a leader on the pitch in terms of
he's too far out of the game.
There's one player. There's one player who could do it, but we won't have him. We don't rate. First and foremost, we don't rate him as a player. We agree that he's a good player, but we think he's suited for another league. 2, all bets are off because of what happened 2 years against Crystal Palace. So, because let's face it, whatever you say about this player, and whether either Unai Emery's a liar or he just wanted to big this guy up, it was said that the reason why he was given the captaincy is because the players believed that he was the person they wanted to lead them because they felt he had these leadership qualities. But we're not having him because we don't think he should. We think he slows down and play in the midfield, and because we think we threw the armband away and he swore at the fans. So all bets are off. But he's the only one I can think about who could do it.
But the thing is, whatever happens in any team structure, whether it's you're building a house, you're building a car, you're laying a fucking road, whatever, it doesn't matter. You have to have a leader of the gang, and we haven't got that. So, Arteta can stand on the side of the lines and he can do whatever, but you still need somebody on the pitch to actually bollock people and say, do your fucking job. You're weak, you're letting things go, hence Odegaard gets away with his shit. Again, yesterday, Ramsdale, he's out there bollocking his defenders. when Saint Maximin, he had that shot, he's like straight out giving them shit. Bit
Could
like
be him. Could be him then.
Hugo
Lloris is captain of France and Spurs.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I've always been under the impression that a centre back or a goalkeeper should be the captain, or somebody
I've always said it.
maybe
Always
defensive midfield or
Always
something, because they can see the whole pitch.
Yeah, but
That's
Jess,
okay.
you see, Jess, you just described, you given a reason why a certain player from Switzerland was ordered a new contract, even though he was wanted to leave the football club. It shouts that our dear manager wants him, basically desperate for him to stay, and it shouts that our dear manager wants him in the team, regardless of whether he embellishes it, because of those leadership qualities that that we're demanding that a player should have. That is probably why when he comes back fully fit, Albert will be out of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. There was a question a minute ago. Big up to everybody watching, man. There's 700 people nearly here. Make sure you are free hitting the like button. And make sure you are subscribing. It's a free hit, mate. Just.
I think we've got some cricket fans in here who will watch a lot of bowlers bowl no balls and rights. Don't pretend you like cricket, Lee. Don't you dare pretend you like cricket, because I know you.
I don't watch cricket. The only time the only cricket I actually enjoy watching, and I don't watch it. I'm not going to lie. I ain't watched it for years. Is T20 because it's exciting. I can't watch all this 5-day bullshit and it end a draw. No. Like, what's that all about? 5 days.
5 day cricket is beautiful.
5 days and it's
5 days a draw.
No, what's that all about?
5 day cricket is beautiful. That's where the legends of cricket was born.
Yeah, that might be the case. Yeah, and there has been some proper good players like over the years. I used to live in an estate in Milton Keynes called Oldbrook, right? And that estate, every street in that estate was named after a cricketer. Boycott Avenue, yeah, Underwood Place. Like all of these cricket, that was the name. Yeah, like the street. Like, it was all cricketers, yeah? So, like, I do know a bit about cricket, but nowhere near what you and Afsal know, mate. You two are way gone. Like, I don't even watch it, right? But if it is on and it's there, if it's test match, I ain't watching it. Yeah, I'll be like, nah, I'd rather watch paint dry, mate. Like, T20 is cool because they start slapping it everywhere. Like, literally six, and it's exciting, man. It's like, oh, they need 15 more runs off 2 or 3 balls or something, yeah? It's like they got to get 3 6s or something. It's fucking mental. Yeah, but
look, quick question. I'm not a cricket. I used to love playing it as a kid at school, but you got a 5-day test match, yeah?
Yes.
So you got England in, hypothetically, India, England, India, and it ends up as a draw. How can that win? How's that work?
Well, it's simple. You need to get 20 wickets to win to have a chance to win the test match. And your batsman, they call it batter. I call them batsman. I'm not into all this.
You're old school.
I'm old school batsman. So basically, what's happening is if you're batting first, you set up the innings, and it's basically your bowlers who are meant to put you in a position.
It's a bit of a Ponzi sport, though, isn't it? Like, let's go for lunch. Yeah, they're retiring.
It does have its origins in the old class system, but you know what? Yeah. It is one of those things. But I do get the.
You go live. You and
English cricket's in turmoil, isn't it? At the moment. Yeah.
Well, you see what's happening.
Bye, Kenny. What happens?
Sorry.
Yeah. You see what happened, and then he just disappeared. Bye then. And how funny is that? We're on 666 people watching. They fucked him off.
It's not Halloween, is it?
No, it's not.
Fucking hell.
He's back. He's back.
All I'm saying is that you see what's happening in Australia. It's all sorts, captains sending photos of themselves. Mind you, I've got to laugh, right? Thank God Rudiger missed that chance. Or it would have been like a page. It would have been like the front page of the Sun incident if he scored that today.
Oh dear. No, it wouldn't have been the Sun. It would have been the fucking Daily Record or the Daily Star or something.
all the sport.
People in the chat have no idea what we're talking about, but it's funny. Listen, we have got Man United on Thursday. Ralph Ragnick. Paul Merson has come out. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Paul Merson has come out and said, yeah, but he's never managed in England. He's never managed a big team. So is he all that?
Never. Tuchel didn't manage in England, but look what he won. Mourinho didn't manage in England before he got there. I think what's happening is that, I think in this country, sometimes we big ourselves
up.
Go
for a slash. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Mind you, Jess.
Yeah.
If you look at the results that, the national side have had in the last, 3 tournaments, because I count the League of Nations as a major tournament as well now, because the best teams are in there. They've got the semi-finals in Russia, 4th place, got semi-finals, 3rd place in the League of Nations, and they've got to European semi-finals. So maybe, English football's in a situation where it can genuinely talk down to the rest of the world. Not that it shouldn't, because if you take away the last 4 years, it was a joke. We in this country had no right to dictate or talk about any foreigners. At the end of the day, big clubs in England, and we're finding even in Scotland now, they do not hire British bosses.
No.
And because it's not going to happen even at a club as traditional as Man United. Billionaires in this country are foreign, so they are going to want a foreign system in terms of director of football, and they do not rate British bosses. They think the best bosses are in Europe, not in Britain. It's not going to happen.
Sadly, Kenny, I think I'm trying to think of how many English bosses there are out there in Premier League. We've got Eddie Howe, Graham Potter,
Dean Smith,
Steven
Gerrard.
Well, Steven Gerrard, I think, is a different class, personally.
Who else is it? Oh, right. So Thomas Franks from Denmark, Mick Arteta Spanish, Conte's Italian.
Yeah.
David Moyes is in English. He's Scottish, so that's one for the Scots.
Oh, David Moyes, yeah.
Who have we got? We've got Wolves. Have got a Portuguese manager. And who is it? Man City, Pep Spanish. Klopp's German.
Yeah. So it sums up really that that's the way the world of Premier League football's gone.
Can I just correct you on Steven Gerrard? Because Scousers don't think they're in the UK, mate.
Yeah, but I think what's happening.
I'm playing before anyone gets the other.
But I think what is that we're all part of that, because we've been educated to a certain extent that when I was growing up, and obviously you're older than me by 10 years, we were brought up to think that the local businessmen from North London, Barnet and Hertfordshire were the sort of people we wanted to buy a football club, and we were attracted to multi-millionaires. Now, probably a few years, decades later, we won't even give a prospective new owner a sniff unless he's a billionaire, and not just a billionaire. We think that if he's worth £2 billion, it's too low. We want him to be worth about 50. We want him to have about at least 10 billion.
But not only that, Kenny. People seem to think that if you're a billionaire, automatically all of that wealth is now the football clubs.
Yeah.
And it's it don't work like that. Stan Kroenke's worth nearly 10 billion quid. That ain't Arsenal.
You see what his wife's worth?
Oh, mate, she's the heir to the Walmart empire, mate. They're worth fucking ton of money, mate. Yeah, she makes him look poor, right? But just because that billionaire has amassed all of that level of wealth and assets, most of it is assets. They ain't got that much money sat in the bank.
It's not hard cash. It's not.
No, it's not.
This is what makes me laugh with these people about, Kroenke don't spend any money. Well, no. His abject worth is in assets. He hasn't got 10 billion in the United States Bank of America. He can't go down there and say, right, I need to draw out $500 million today because I want to buy this player, that player. It don't fucking work like that. So,
No,
you know, the assets of the club are in a totally different. We have a reserve account, we have a current account, and we have a share account. Anybody on here, you can go and look it up. Company's House. You can get all the facts and figures. And the fact of the matter is, Josh Kroenke, who I agree with you, Lee, I think he is the owner, backed by his father. You know, he's not going to go down to Lloyd's Bank or whoever and say, "Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, guys, I need to draw out 100 million today because I need to pay out. We need to buy these 3 players." It don't fucking work like that in business. Look, I mean, it's one of the things it's a couple of months ago we were talking about this. Now, who's it? I was going to bring the point up when we bought. I can't remember who it was. We bought a player. We all know how it works in football transfers. If we buy a player, hypothetical, right? Let's say we bought Messi, right? For, I don't know, whatever. We don't pay that money up front. It's all done over a period of time. You might give them, let's say we bought him for £100 million, 100 million, right? We might give them 40 million up front, and then it's done over a period of time. It's done on appearances, it's done on this, it's done on that. So stop fucking getting your asses in a twitch, people. These guys, same as Newcastle. Newcastle have got pots and pots and pots of money, right? They don't go out and spunk loads of money on a player because I'll guarantee you this. I bet the ex-Newcastle manager has not been fully paid yet.
Oh no!
No way.
Do you know how that works? Wow, I'm mad echo. What happened? I think that's better. Yeah, he'll get paid his contract over the life of the contract. So if he's got 3 years left on that contract, they're not just going to go boom, 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 boom. Here's all your money. They'll just keep paying him.
That's how he paid Sir Bobby Robson as well.
Yeah,
and
mate, Coutinho to Barcelona. Barcelona still to this day owe Liverpool money for Coutinho.
Yeah, definitely. They played him yesterday. He got the third goal and the penalty against VRL. But I think that's the thing we always need to look at in terms of players is the instalment factor. You know, even Roman Abramovich, stopped doing that. When he first came to the football club, he actually saved West Ham from like going into administration, because after they got relegated in '93, he paid the full transfer money to West Ham for Joe Cole instead of playing it in instalments. And I think that what he actually saved quite a few clubs in Europe as well, because he was paying the full money. But obviously now Chelsea is now run properly, and I think that's the thing with football transfers as well, is that as fans, we're idealists. We want great investment. But I always say it, and I'm never going to tire of saying this: get the right people behind the scenes. Get your mentality to be a footballing mentality, not commercial. Make sure, because I promise you, once you get the right football people in, I promise you, success will be coming like a train. It won't be like Trust the Process or Youth Project. It'll be coming like a train. I've seen it in my own eyes. I've seen it happen at Man United when Sir Alex was there, when they got right off the field. Trophies come. I'm seeing it now at Liverpool. We've seen it with Chelsea, seen it at Man City. That's where the money should be spent. I don't know why you think you're going to just chuck it on a group of players and then it's going to work. You have cabbages behind the scenes. Then what will happen is that they're going to make cabbage decisions. And then what you're going to see is that you're going to see all these great players, but you won't see any pattern of play. You won't see a team. You'll just see cabbage patch results, because there's a lack of organisation, lack of mentality behind the scenes. And I think that's what I say to all these fans. If you're going to have a go at Josh Kroenke, have a go at him and hold him to account for the people he hires behind the scenes. Have a go at him for hiring Vinay. Have a go at him for hiring Arteta. Have a go at him for hiring Edu, and have a go at him and say to him, you know what, mate, Hell End is good, but I want the same academy as Chelsea, Man City. I want to see,
or Ajax, or something like that.
I want to see in 2 years' time, Arsenal in the Champions League with 5 or 6 players from Hell End, because that's what I saw on Tuesday.
Kenny, we were watching the game today. I know you was watching the Man U game today because we were talking throughout it, right? And they had Chalobah at right back, academy. They had Loftus-Cheek, albeit he's a bit older now. He's mid-20s. But he's still academy, right? Reece James, academy. Yeah. Mason Mount came on, academy. There's 4. Have I missed anyone? I think there might have been another one.
All right. Yeah, but
I can't remember. Even so, 4 academy players.
Pulisic, even though they bought him from Juventus, was
still a kid.
No, but he was academy. He was in their books as a kid. Now, if you look at Juventus game, they had basically Hudson. You left that Hudson-Odoi.
Oh, Hudson-Odoi. I knew there was another one. So they had 5. If you include Mason Mount, who came on, 5 players from the academy played for Chelsea today.
And against Juventus, who they beat one of the best teams in Europe with pedigree, you left that Christensen academy.
So did he come through their academy, Christensen?
He came through their academy.
Wow, I never knew that.
Players. So all I'm trying to say is that I'm not doing Arsenal down. I want Arsenal to be better.
So be like that. I never knew he came through their academy. That's fucking blown my mind. I thought they brought him.
Yeah, because the reason why I want Arsenal to do the best is because I don't think I'm a better fan than you. It's because I've seen us at our best. And I think with the facilities we have and the money we have and the potential at our club is frightening. Frightening. If we get the right people, right mentalities there.
Kenny, the location of our football club being based in the capital, right, is a big draw. I think some people overdo it, some people underdo it, but it's still a big draw. It's the capital of the country, right? The bright lights, it's where the money is.
On the Victoria line, on the Victoria line and the Piccadilly line, it's between us and Chelsea. When in order to attract fans who come to London for the first time or from abroad, it's us and Chelsea.
And the thing is with it as well is you're spot on what you said, right? When Abramovich first went in there, he went and nicked Peter Kenyon, and then he went and nicked Jose. Young up and coming manager, loads of bravado, 30 big bollocks, just won the European Cup, right? He could see Man United with Fergie. He'd been there for years and years. Arsene Wenger, years and years, 8 years at the time or whatever. Fergie had been there, 15 or whatever, 14, right? And he was like, we can do something here. And he had a plan. And you remember this, lads, yeah? We had a 10-year plan when we moved to Emirates, didn't we? It was a 10-year plan to be self-sufficient. So when all of these people that sit there and say, oh, but the owner don't put any money in, that was never the idea of moving. We were moving to be self-sufficient. Right? It weren't about getting a sugar daddy bankroll in it. It was about moving to get a bigger income, bigger sponsorships, bigger commercial deals to make us self-sufficient. So we didn't need a sugar daddy because a sugar daddy is not sustainable if it's done the wrong way. Go and ask fucking Blackburn. Yeah. Going to other clubs along the way, right? So we did that, right? But Roman Abramovich had a better 10-year plan. His 10-year plan was, I'm going to nick all the best people in world football and I'm going to get them at my football club. We're going to have the best academy. We're going to have the best fucking hierarchy. I mean, that woman, Maria Granaskova, I think.
Granskaya.
Mate, how she got 5 million for Victor Moses is taking the piss. Like, he'd been there 9 years, 13 mil they paid for him. They sold him for fucking 9 years later. Like, we're letting players walk out for nothing. And now what they've done, Chelsea, is they've actively spun it, which is what Abramovich's long-term business model was, into a self-sufficient business. He don't invest.
Doesn't have to do.
But he invested in the foundations behind the scenes with Kenyon, Granaskova. I think she's worked for him for like 20 odd years over all of his companies and that, yeah? Right. They had Joe Cole doing up the fucking was it Joe Cole? What was the fucking lad, man? Jody Morris, sorry, not Joe Cole, Jody Morris. He was doing their academy, right? Their academy is the best in the country and one of the best, if not the best on the planet. Like, so they've put all of that money into that. Yes, he funded this, but this is where Chelsea is smart because their fans are ruthless. They said, yeah, you can buy the football club, you ain't buying the pitch. Yeah, so now you want to smash the stadium down, cool. The pitch stays, mate. Yeah, you want to build on and do this and that, cool. Do what you're doing, but that pitch ain't fucking moving, mate. And they still to this day refuse to let him buy that pitch, right? Because they know where they've come from and they know the fucking roots of their football club, right? And when we speak to Rolfie all the time, yeah, right? He's fucking proper Chelsea, like, and all of these new school Chelsea fans, whilst they're loving life and they've bought into the mentality of Abramovich and we win everything, like, and they keep that going, i.e. Lampard. Yeah, they hung on a little bit too long with Lampard, but ask any Chelsea fan if they give a shit if Lampard got sacked now. They're top of the table, right? And they've just won the Champions League. Does anyone care? 7 months ago, everyone was calling them a banter club. Yeah, but between their fans, their owners, their board, and all the hierarchy within that football club, the foundations were set when he brought the club. We're going to bankroll it for a little bit, right? And we're going to get us up there and we're going to make fucking noise and we're going to be a powerhouse. Then what we're going to do is by then our academy will be rolling. We're going to nab every good kid in the planet. We'll put them straight through that academy. Yeah. Yes, we'll buy their mum a house and their dad a house and we'll do this because that's how they do it. Yeah. But if you look at their academy, that is a proper fucking youth setup, mate. They
Exactly.
have 5 youth teamers in their team.
It's elite. It's elite. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the
a
thing.
proper youth
That's
project.
the thing. We've basically said to yourself, yes, Kroenke out by all means, but these are the reasons you should be using because of the fact you don't use the reasons about expenditure on players. Use the reasons to the fact that right now you've basically got a soft project which is not going to long term. It's not going to challenge you. You've been brought into the club because we came to the Emirates Stadium. We're making loads of money. About Jez, how much do you think extra we would make? We had 38,000 at Highbury. We now got 60,000 at the Emirates Stadium. That's extra 22,000. Yeah,
that's
all right. Yeah,
but
all right. It's corporate, but it's actually 22,000 fans. How much do you think we're making extra a year since 2006?
I'd say quite a lot. Because if you look at the corporate that we've got at the Emirates, right, there's fucking a shitload of boxes, right? And I know for a fact they sell them boxes 3 years in advance. Like, so you can't just go and buy a box for 1 year. You have to commit to a 3-year deal on that, right? So that's 60 grand times 3. There's 180 grand. Now,
yeah, but what are tickets though?
Club level's 3 grand a ticket. Yeah, they're making a fucking fortune.
Yeah, but all right. You say match day revenue, right? So you've got match day revenue. You say you times it by each match. I reckon, we must be bringing in about, was it 300 million shots a year? Extra.
Look, a couple of facts here. When I bought that ticket, it's an e-ticket. For yesterday's game, but I sadly couldn't get to because of the tube strikes. You buy it online, they charge you 1.5% booking fee. It's automated. So work out how many hundreds of thousands of tickets they sell like that a year. Yeah, for freebie tickets that are available. Now, I'm just going to take you back here with a little bit of history. When it was 2001, Arsenal Football Club, as it was then, wanted to buy all the houses adjacent to the stadium in Gillespie Road and Avenel Road, Highbury Hill, because they wanted to completely rebuild Highbury and expand it like that. Right, and it was going to hold 80,000, 80,000. But certain people at the club at the time didn't want that because, and the offers were going out, and I remember seeing the offers on my mum's house, and it was a very, very, very good price. Islington Council turned round to the idea, weren't keen at first, a lot of negotiation, and the deal was going to be that behind Avenel Road and Peveril Street was going to be a massive great car park. There was going to be a new train line into there, tube line from Arsenal Station into there. But it was deemed by certain persons at the club at the time that they didn't want it. And one of the key factors of that decision was Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger didn't deem the fact that the ground could be extended to that capacity and maintain, right, the atmosphere. Well, fuck off, Wenger.
What's the atmosphere saying now, Jez?
Exactly, yeah.
Soulless. Yeah. I was chatting when I was at the away game at Liverpool the other week. I was chatting to a fellow there. I haven't seen him for years and years. And we go back probably 25 years. And he said he's a season ticket holder in the North Bank at the Emirates. And he said, do you remember the days at the Emirates at Highbury in the North Bank? He said the atmosphere was tight. The away fans down the clock end, the away team, whoever it may well be, felt intimidated. I said, yeah, absolutely. When the away fans were walking down Avenel Road to go to the clock end, they were intimidated. It's a tight little street. We all know
like
it.
Little Victorian terrace streets, man.
Yeah, and
narrow cobble roads, mate.
You'd have the Arsenal faithful going up that way, up to the North Bank, and you'd have all the crew going in the East Stand, and you have the police escorting the away fans down here to go into the clock end, and it was an intimidating atmosphere, and you don't get that at the Emirates now. You've got a bloody great concourse around it. Everybody's milling around, and the atmosphere is dead. I hate the Emirates.
But you're getting the buzz back for live football, though, Jez.
Hey?
You're getting the buzz back for live football, though, mate.
I do, but I'm going to Man U.
That's how they get you. But that's how they get you, mate, because you don't
No,
like that stadium. I don't like it. Kenny don't like it. But we like live football.
I'd rather go. I'm going up to Old Trafford on Thursday, and I'm going up Wednesday night. We're coming back Friday, and the price of the ticket, right? The price of the ticket. All right, I'm going to be sat in with a couple of Man U fans. I don't mind that.
You're in the Man U end. You're in the Man U end. You're in the Mank end.
Yeah. Well, no, we're going to be in the upper west, I think, but I don't mind all that because it's a good atmosphere. You can have a good bit of banter. Because when I go with away fans that I know and they're friends, they always stitch me up, but I don't care. It's not like it's not like in the 70s and the 80s you get your head kicked in. I'm an old bloke.
Hang on, you ain't go Spurs away, are you? Because it still happens there.
And I prefer going to away games. I prefer
away
it.
Games is miles better, man. I can't lie. Yeah, Kenny,
I don't like Emirates.
Best atmosphere
aways, but you do the London aways, right? And they're always
best
lively,
atmosphere,
man.
the best. I say it once. Our away fans are the best in a country. 100%. I love our away fans.
Yeah, it's great.
The best atmosphere ever. I loved Leicester away. I love every away game I've been to, or obviously London, but even the odd one around the country. Our away fans are the best in the country.
Well,
tell me.
I said to you a few weeks ago, I went against the grain. I don't buy merch. I refuse to. I haven't bought any Arsenal merch for 2 years. I got bought a shirt by the wife on my birthday 2 years ago, one of them polo ones that I wear. I won't go in the armory. I don't like getting ripped off at the Emirates.
Was spotted in the armory at the weekend, Jez, yesterday. Kenny was
spotted
in the armory yesterday.
Hey, Jess, you know how cold it was yesterday? My fingers were like fish fingers, frozen fish fingers.
You've got to go and warm up.
And I even let them search me, and I saw a bit of commotion.
I've always thought that's a bit off key that they search you going in there. What is that all about?
I don't know. Well, Jack Wilshere and Per Mertesacker in there alongside the soon-to-be probably want-to-be celebrity fan who's got a book out.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna shoot myself in the face here because I've got a season ticket coming next year for the North Bank.
Good. Wicked.
Come on, Jez.
But yeah, people are going to hate me for that. 'Cause I always say fuck it, no. But to me, it's going to be me meeting up with guys that I used to go to football with for 45 years, and it'll be great. It'll be fun.
Do they still live in Jez? Sorry to cut you off, mate. Do they still live in the area, or have they all moved out?
No, a lot of them still live around the area. 2 of them still live in Avenel Road. 2 of them still live in Gillespie Road. My mate John lives right down where I stayed with him for the game a few weeks ago for his 60th. But there's guys, my mate Paul, my best mate Paul, he was like lifelong friend. He lives down in Eastbourne, but he still goes. He still travels up when he can. He can't go all the time. Fair play. Probably 20 of them have moved away for whatever reasons. So, but it's going to be, to me, look, I'm 60, you know. I don't know how much longer I fucking last. And
come on, dude, you've got plenty of life in you yet, mate. Get that WD-40 out.
I just love the atmosphere, but I love the atmosphere of being with my mates and watching the game before, during, and after. I don't like the Emirates. I never have liked the Emirates. I think because, unfortunately, having been born and bred right outside Highbury, it was my second fucking home. Because I fucking
was you taking selfies there, Jez? Was you taking selfies? Oh, look at me, I'm back in my second home.
I don't think did.
I remember one time, right? I remember one time, me and my good friend Grant, one of my mates, Mo, we lent a ticket to one of his workmates. There was a woman, and she started taking photos, and I said, she's crying. I said, no, and Grant went, no, she's not. She's crying. So Grant went, you all right? She said, no, it's so emotional being here. I went, what? You at the football? She said, I used to go Highbury a lot, but it's so emotional seeing the players come out. I went, we didn't laugh. We're just thinking, bloody hell. And I think that's what football does to you. I think we forget, the buzz, like the hairs on the back of your head. The anticipation.
Walking into that, when you first walk into a football stadium for the first ever time in your life, you'll never forget that. Yeah. And then walking into like the block, and then seeing the pitch as you're walking down the steps to go to take your seat, you'll never forget that. And people that come from abroad and far and wide over the UK, they're not lucky like you guys, man. You guys can go every week, right? And sometimes I do feel like I'm a bit over the top, and I'm a bit of a cunt with it, right? Because I do take the piss, and and listen, we can all get tickets between us. Kenny, you've got a season ticket. Jez is getting one, can get tickets. I can source tickets, and we're all very fortunate to be in that position where we can actually do that, right? So for somebody that's their first time and they've saved their life fucking savings to fly from Australia or America to go and do that, like, who the fuck are we to have a pop at them for fucking putting a tripod up and taking pictures of it?
Good luck with them. Oh, like, you know what? When you describe that, good luck with them, because there's a geezer. Obviously, he doesn't like you too much. But
who does?
But I actually went up to him and I said to him, because when he comes over, he's a gooner. He'll watch Arsenal games, but because he's in London, he'll go and watch all the other games across the country. He'll go and watch West Ham. He'll go and watch Watford, and he'll even go and watch the London teams away if he can't get a game in London. And I said to him, all right, you're a gooner. Why'd you do that? And I don't know if he meant it in jest, but he was so serious. He said, I have to do it, Kenny. The football is so crap in the MLS that I want to see good football. And I think that's where it is. Yeah. Is that he makes sure that he's watching Arsenal, the team that he loves, but he's going around. He also watches the London games, and when he explained it like that to me, I thought, I get it. I get it.
See, my mate lives in Camden. I'm not going to name him here, right? So I'll tell you don't even know I'm going to say this, right? He's an Arsenal fan. He's got a season ticket, him and his old man. Yeah, and they watch the show. Big up to them, right? And he's a very, very good friend of mine, like one of my besties, yeah, right? But he goes and watches West Ham all the time because he's got a mate that's West Ham, and none of his mates are none of the others are West Ham. So he's like, "Oh, do you want to come West Ham with me? I've got a spare ticket." Yeah, so he'll go and watch West Ham. He's probably been to about the same amount of Arsenal games this season than he has West Ham. He goes pretty much every home game for West Ham now, and I'm like, "Good luck to you, mate. Like you're watching decent football every week." Yeah, do you know what I mean? But at the same time, West Ham fans, if they knew he was a gooner, would probably get the ump saying he's nicking one of our tickets.
Yeah. Lee Chapman, you know, the ex Arsenal player, Sheffield Wednesday in Sunderland. He owns
did he play for Leeds as well? Chapman?
He played for Leeds as well, Championship as well. He owns a restaurant eatery in Chelsea, and all his best mates are Chelsea fans. So he's got a Chelsea season ticket, so he can go football with them. But he doesn't. But he's got an affiliation with Leeds United because he won a championship. So it's one of those things where, you know, football is always the winner. You know, as Bullard says on Sky Sports, it has to be the winner. And I think that's the thing. That's why we're here for the beautiful game, and that's why obviously, even though we threaten each other to fight each other, you know, at the end of the day, we watch football. We watch football for the club. I don't see any reasons why people put up ex-managers or current managers or players on a pedestal when at the end of the day, the reason why you're angry at these people is because they're harming your club. They get the club are having bad results because of decisions these people are making or for lack of performances these people are putting out on the field. So you're angry at them, not personal, because they're harming your club's chances of getting into the Champions League. They're harming your club's chances of winning the FA Cup and all the trophy, and they're harming your club's chances of winning the league.
100%.
So you're angry. You're not angry at them as a person. You're angry at them what they're doing. It's not personal.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I really, really hope Newcastle do not get relegated because I'm going to Newcastle away next year.
Mate, make sure you've got your breathing apparatus, mate, because you're up in the sky, mate.
I know. But
make sure you go on walks as well, Jez, right? Because
one more thing you ain't told him as well. If you thought Liverpool was a good night out, you wait to get Newcastle. I've
been Newcastle away loads of times, and it's such a fun. I'm going up there for 3 nights actually. It's a long way to go. And
damn right, you're not going there and back. You've got to at least have some sleep.
Oh, mate, it's going to be lit. It's going to be absolutely lit. I'll tell you what. I think I told you this, Lee. The best curry I've ever had is in a place in Newcastle called Jedburgh, the district of Newcastle, Jedburgh. There's this curry house there, man, and I tell you what, it's unreal, unbelievable. And I'm going to Palace away, Newcastle away, and I'm going to try and get quite a few more games if I can. But next season, I'll be there back in the old, well, not the old North Bank, but, you know, what is now. And I love it. It'd be great.
Yeah, you've got the buzz back, man. You got the buzz back. That's what I.
Yeah, it's your fault. It's your bloody fault.
I knew it would be.
I think what it is, right? It's just a match day, isn't it? It's like, you know, the amount of times you get to the ground, you hate people. If someone's got a problem, please don't call me. I'm on the way to football. Don't distract me. Don't.
That's your release, man.
It's like tubes. Don't get stuck in losing a signal. Trains. Do not miss the stop. Do not have trains packed. Don't have someone pulling the emergency, even though there's an emergency. I don't care. I want to get in time for the match. That's what it's like in football. Everything's tunnel vision. Nothing gets in the way. You know what I mean?
All week you sit there thinking, "Oh my God, it's only 2 more days till match." Like I went through a phase where, like, a girlfriend I was with at the time, her uncle did a lot of work for some of the players, like Adams, Bold, Keown, and all that. He was a carpenter. He did a lot of their staircases, right? So I was his carer on match days, right? He's got a wooden leg, bless him, right? So a lot of these players will know if they listen, if any of these old school players watched, and they'll know who Barry is. Yeah, he still goes now, right? So I was his carer. So I used to have front row seats all the time, and it was fucking, I was his carer. But then I got the ump with Wenger, and I said, no, fuck it, I ain't going anymore. Split up with the Bird a few years later, right? And then had the opportunity to start going again, could source tickets. And the first game I went back to was Stoke away, right? And I was sat in a pub just outside of Milton Keynes, and I got a phone call saying, do you want a Stoke away ticket? I'll pick you up now. I was like, yeah, sweet, I'm having that. So I just left the whole family of the new Bird. Yeah. And I got to Stoke and I was like, fucking hell, I've missed this, man. It's mad. Yeah. And I got the buzz back. So, Jez, I know what you're doing, man. Like, you start going, you think, fucking hell, yeah.
I actually was shocked because I think it was when you first started your channel. And
Yeah,
at first, I thought, hang on it.
Subs, I think, yeah.
And I went, hang on it. This is wrong. I said, next minute you're not in the studio. You're outside. I said, he went, as you can see, I'm at Stoke away. Stoke away! He's back.
Hey, I'm never fucking going to that ground ever again, mate. Yeah, that was so cold. I was cold in Osterson.
It was in August.
Yeah, it was freezing, Kenny.
It was August, though.
Yeah, but the way that stadium's set up, right, where they put the away fans in that ground, it's got a massive open gap, right? Yeah, and the wind, they do it deliberately. They could put us down the other end, yeah, but the wind just circulates and it is fucking freezing, mate. And it's right in the middle of an industrial estate. It's a fucking dump, mate. Yeah, it's a dump. Like West Brom
pitch is small. Better pitch
their pitch is tiny. West Brom was a good away trip. That was nice.
I'll tell you one thing there. The best atmosphere for an away game, and it's like so archaic. The ground, Crystal Palace's ground at Selhurst Park.
Oh, Palace
it's so archaic. It's archaic. Trust me, it doesn't even need a lick. If you give it a lick of paint, you just kill the atmosphere. When they have that band, and it's like boom, boom, boom. Really, you got these hard men from Croydon banging the drums. That atmosphere with the fireworks, everything. Crystal Palace away, lovely. And then yes, please.
Just come on at half time and all that. A bit
lovely,
like you know what I mean?
love it.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what,
the best away trip ever. Newcastle's not far behind. Them two are the best for me. Yeah, but Palace, what I liked about Palace, it's just like even if they're getting battered, they don't shut up.
No.
Like, even if they come to the Emirates, and if they not that they've lost against us for a long time, but even if they're getting battered, they don't shut up. Do you know another team that was like that was Huddersfield? Yeah, you was there, Kenny. Huddersfield, like whoever scored the bicycle kick, right? The whole game, and it was cold that night. It was a midweek game under the lights. They never shut up. They were in the ground early, like, and do you know what? When you like the way the Emirates is designed, right? And anyone who's been there and know this, you very rarely see the away fans, like unless you're in that right next to him. In I think it's block 25, is it? Yeah, you very rarely see them when you're going in and out the ground. So if you're North Bank, you ain't seeing away fans, right? But if you're walking down some of the roads, I remember I see a load of Man City fans, a load of older lot. They must have been 60, right? And they were like, oh, yeah, you know, and this was after the cup final where they'd just beaten us, right? And it was fucking freezing. Right? And David Silva masterclass. And I'll never forget this. A guy in front of me, he fucking hated me, the old boy. He goes, all you do is fucking cuss Wenger, right? Well, that night, as soon as David Silva scored the second, he fucked off. Right? He's got, I've had enough. I said, oh, cussing Wenger, are we, mate? He turned around and went, bollocks. Right? But before the game, I was walking past the co-op, right, towards the armory and up the steps. I see a load of Man City fans, right? And I said, I bet you're fucking loving life, in you. You've just won the League Cup. You're flying high. You've got a quality manager. He goes, mate, we're loving every minute of it. He goes, I've seen us relegated. Yeah, he goes, we were shit. He goes, I still pinch myself of whether this is real. Yeah, and then they fucking took us apart. I think there was 20,000 people in the ground that night, Kenny. Right?
We're all cold. I'll tell you, it was cold. I remember one because you know I don't wear layers when I go to football, and the woman in front of me only recognised me when she heard me swear when the second goal went in. And she went, "Oh my God, you're here! I didn't think it was you because I was, you know." But you know, it's one of those things where you just think about Arsenal, and I think that's what we want to do. But at the end of the day, we want a successful team to be proud of, and we're not going to rest. And I think what's happening there is a groundswell of opinion where fans who are like us don't get represented. I'm not saying we speak for them, but what I'm saying is that it's okay to want the best for your football club. It's okay to be upset with a player when he doesn't play well. It's okay to criticise the manager, because at the end of the day, your scarves and your season ticket and any of your emblems says Arsenal Football Club. Doesn't say Player Football Club, or it says Arsenal Football Club. So the club will always come before that player. So you're entitled to support the club any way you want and to hold these players to the highest standards, right? So when you go on Twitter and some person who wants to be one of the get along says, we'll start writing it. It said a supporter is someone who supports, and that is not a fan. Tell them to STFU and to MYOB. It's your supporters' experience, not theirs.
You tell them,
Well,
Kenny.
I'll tell you what was like nice was when we were travelling back from Liverpool the other week, we stopped off at Banbury Services near Oxford for something to eat and a cup of tea and everything. And it was like the old days when you used to stop at the Blue Boar on the M1 and you'd have all kinds of fans going here, there, and everywhere. But we were sat there and this little coach turned up and outpiled all these Man U fans who'd been down to West Ham. And I think it was West Ham.
Watford.
Watford, yeah. Oh, Watford. And I see this guy getting off, and he's getting off, and he's all like a bit hunched up, and he's a bit, oh, bloody hell, fucking hell. And I remember him from years and years ago, and we've sort of seen each other over the years. His name's Benny, and he's probably about a couple of years older than me. And we sat there, I'm sat leaning against the bonnet, and I looked at him, I thought, I'm sure that's Benny. So I shouted his name out, and he looked round, and he went, fucking hell, he said, it's you old gooner. Fucking hell. He said, I remember you. And I said, how you doing, son? He went like, oh, man, he said, sitting on these buses these days do me in. He said, it's not like when we were 19, is it? I said, no, it's not. And he said, well, you got a bloody luxury car there. He said, typical fucking Arsenal. He went, fucking expensive car. I said, ain't mine. And he went, yeah, I'm in this bloody old minibus. He said, we got another 3 hours yet. And I said, yeah, well, And it was so funny because you sort of see these people you've seen around the games for so long, and you think, he's still around. He's still going to games. He's still there doing his thing. And it's nice to see, really. Nice to see. And, back in the day, you'd be like, if you'd met up back years ago, Kenny, Lee, there might have been, I never got involved, but there might have been some scrapping going down. When you see these old boys now, like me, and you're like, oh, fucking hell, a bit stiff now. The old back's giving a bit. Fucking hell, oh, bloody hell. The old hips are hurting a bit today. And you think, I remember some of these guys are Chelsea fans. I've cut the guys that live down my way now. They were proper fucking naughty Chelsea fans, the old headhunters. And you look at them now and you're like, oh, bloody hell, the old back's a bit stiff today. And you think, it gives you all this great reminiscence. So when I go to games now, away games, it brings back the old times as well. So you can sit there, you can have a smile, and you think, yeah, it's good times. It's good times.
Best way.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, man. And listen, there's still 600 people watching this. Slap the likes up, free hit. Let's go with a score prediction before we wrap this up. This has been sick. And big up to everyone in the chat as well. Yeah, everyone's loving off Jez and Kenny's stories as well, man. Everyone loves this. This is like education settings for the young'uns. Yeah, and even the old'uns. Like I said this before. Do you know why this podcast works so well? It's because we're all 10 above each other. I'm the baby of the bunch. Kenny's 10 above me, and then Jez is 10 above you. Yeah,
you know what it is, right? The thing about it is that youngsters, they're brilliant, because what's happening right now is that they actually watch more football because of the the social media and like the internet. They actually know. The minute we get links for a player abroad, they're straight on it. And I know for a fact some people in who are in the chat, I promise you, a lot of them are youngsters. They'll be able to recite all the attributes of the players that we may be interested in, and they've been like a great help to me. Great help to me, because I remember a few years when I was speaking to a few young players, young fans from abroad, they recommended two players to me over the years. One was Davison Sanchez, who was doing good things. Another one they recommended was Husam Aouar about 3 or 4 years ago. And so they're brilliant. They've helped me as well in terms of like talking about other leagues.
100%, man. 100%. This podcast's fire every week, man. And Thursday we've got Manchester United. When do we play Everton? Is that Saturday or is that Sunday?
No, it's Monday night football. Monday night football.
It's Monday. And do you know what? They fucking stitched me. Both games are 9:15 kickoff, aren't they? Or my time. So 8:15 on Thursday, and then it's some stupid late fucking 9
No,
o'clock.
it's 9 o'clock Spanish time for you, but 8 o'clock for us here.
Yeah,
but,
which means I'm still working. Yeah, 9 o'clock Monday.
Right? Hey, Lee, if we get 6 points, right? 6 points is really worth it, innit?
All right, well, listen, we're only 7 points off the top of the table, mate. So when I've sat here and when we've sat here saying, if we had invested a bit better in the summer in certain positions, if we had a better manager, we could be in a title race this season. Well, we are only 7 points off, and we're nearly in December. But what do we know? We're negative, apparently.
Exactly.
But listen, thanks to everyone who has watched live. Kenny, you got any cricket or boxing coming up?
Well, there was a great fight yesterday in New York City between Teofimo Lopez and George Cambiasos Jr. Split decision, Cambiasos short win. Next week, I recommend both of you to get yourself down to BT Sport. There's a great derby in terms of Anthony Yard and Lyndon Arthur. Come on, Lyndon Arthur. And next Tuesday, I believe, it's the first test of the Ashes in Brisbane.
No.
There you go. Stupid o'clock in the morning then, yeah?
Yes.
I don't know how you get away with it with work, Kenny. I genuinely don't.
I'll give you my prediction for Thursday. I'm going 2-1 Arsenal.
Kenny, what about you, mate?
I'm going to go for a draw because I think both teams tend to run out of steam because in terms of like we press a lot more than Man United, but I think you getting a new manager, basically they're going to work hard, they're going to press, and they're going to try and get in behind us, and we're going to defend. But I don't think that both Arsenal and Man United got this finishing power to win the game, so I'll go for a draw. But I hope
I don't know when Ronaldo, Bruno, Pogba.
They have. But if you look at the situation, he's going to try and get them to do something. He's going to get them to do what Liverpool did to us: press from the front, and then what's happening in transitions, get bodies forward, and then get hard workers around Cristiano Ronaldo because I think he'll play anyway. So, but whether they're able to sustain that for 90 minutes, it leaves a lot to be desired. But then again, we do have our issues in the last third as well in terms of like creativity.
Well, that's the thing. Like we barely create anything. We're averaging just over a goal a game, and they've got match winners everywhere. Cavani's apparently fit. Fucking Ronaldo came on today, didn't really do a lot. Sancho scored again. Greenwood, Rashford, Pogba.
He's fit now. He's lost weight, isn't he? He's fit now. He's looking at his best football. And
will Martinelli start? That's the big question.
I don't think he will. I think it'd be
Pepe.
Pepe. Yeah. It was sure a good game anyway. He's sure a good game.
100%. I'll be back again tomorrow. I'll be doing, depending on what time I wake up, because I don't set an alarm these days, which is why I woke up at 2:30 this afternoon. I was like, fuck, it's 2:30 this afternoon. I need to get up, mate. I literally slept like a baby. But yeah, I should be doing a live stream during the day, but then I will be doing the show with Rants as well. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. That'll be 4 p.m. UK time. That show is always fire. Rants has got a smile on his face like a Cheshire cat. He's loving life.
What's he smiling for? What's Rants smiling for? Rants used to go to Manchester City Centre to celebrate them winning league and Champions League. You can't be smiling about these cup results. Come on.
No, he's just happy Ollie ain't there, mate. He's had the cigars out and all sorts, but
Ain't got it. There's got to be an end product at the end of the season to make sure he's right about Ollie leaving, isn't it?
That lead to no title, or irrelevant runs of form that lead to no title. But yeah, we're going to be doing a little look ahead to that. Obviously, on Friday, I'll be back on his Twitch channel. Tomorrow's on this channel. So we'll be looking at the review of that game, I'd imagine, because that's on the Thursday night. Also, tomorrow night, I'm on Henry Wright TV. So make sure you check that out. Their game,
you know what? I like him. He's quality, isn't he? He'll do for me. He's very knowledgeable.
Funny.
I like him.
He is. And he's funny as well. And he knows his team is shit, which always helps. But yeah, their game got called off. We won. And we'll be having a little look forward to the games in midweek or later in midweek. And
who's the West Ham guy you work with? Because Corey's brilliant. I like it. He knows, he studies the game. He watches. He doesn't want. He watches.
He needs to take that Mark No top down, mate. Like, he needs to
there's an analysis he does. I think, yeah, he gets it. I like him.
He's a good boy, though, man. He goes to all the home games. I think he's got a season ticket. He's always at the home games.
No,
and
I
he's
like
just
him.
loving life, man.
Yeah, but he sees beyond the match. I like that.
No, he's a good lad. He needs to drop his propaganda for Declan Rice and Mark Noble, but other than that, he's all right. No, he is good. He's a good lad. He's level-headed as well. Level-headed West Ham.
Don't say that word. You can't say level-headed. That's banned on the show.
Yeah, it is banned. We don't do level-headed. We're 0 to 100. Listen, Jez, you got anything coming up, mate? What's your plans this week?
Working tomorrow, working Tuesday, off up to Manchester on Wednesday, back Friday. Oh man, it's a nightmare for me because I want to go to Everton as well. But I don't know, I can't justify.
You might as well just stay up there, Jez.
Hang on it. Why don't you take them? Liverpool's a good weekend. Take the wife with you, and that way you get a pass.
You can do and then you can do Liverpool. It's like you
get a pass.
We've talked about it, but
all right. Still trying to get a pass. Are you?
I'm not. Look, I'm not a millionaire, guys. You know what I mean? You know,
but us football fans always find a way, even though we're not millionaires, to go make sure we get the game at least.
Beg, steal, and borrow, mate. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. It'd be a double whammy, man, because weekend up. I mean, I love Liverpool. That place we stayed in, that little Ibis hotel was fucking awesome. It was cheap as chips, but I know what's going to happen. It'll be fucking shopping and all that.
You just don't want to walk around the shopping centre for 6 hours going, I'll come back later. And then when you go back, they go, it's sold. Well, why didn't you fucking buy it then?
Look, we've all had that situation where we go shopping.
Mate, I don't do it anymore. Online shopping. That's thing to ever happen to me, mate.
Look, any bloke will know. Never go shopping with your wife, your mum, or your daughters, because I tell you one thing, they stop at every stall.
Yeah.
And then they go, I like this. I'll come back later. Then when they go back, it's sold. And then they go, well, why didn't you just buy it then, mate? Every time. You walk around the same shops 15 times. Like, Jesus Christ, online shopping is the way forward. You don't need to leave your house. Today, I'm not even blagging, right? There's an app over in Spain called Glovo, right? They will pick up anything for you. Literally, I sent him I put a thing on this app. So they've got my address. So I told them where to pick this up from. I said, I want 12 Cruz Campos. I want 2 packets of L&M red fags, right? And I want a pint of milk. Yeah, 20 minutes later, geezer knocks on the door. There you go, mate. Job done. I don't need to leave my fucking house. Literally, he turned up with 12 beers, fags, 2 packets of fags, and a pint of milk. Job done. I don't need to leave my house. I'm going to sit on the balcony if I want to get a bit of sun. I don't need to be getting a taxi and going here, there, and everywhere to do all that.
You're talking about sun. Do you know how cold it is here?
Hey, mate,
snowing here where I am.
Oh, mate, I see it earlier. Right? I'm actually freezing my bollocks off. That's why I've had the heating on most of the night. Yeah, but right now,
heating on in Spain.
13 Tomorrow it'll be 18. But look,
You had the
17,
heating on in
16,
Spain.
18. Yeah,
Jesus
13
Christ.
degrees at the minute, and I'm freezing.
I've heard it all now. You have the heating on in Spain.
Yeah, look, I can put the heating on now.
Yeah, but you're in Spain, man.
Oh,
You've got 20. It's,
yeah,
20,
but,
it's
yeah, but
boiling.
Kenny, you've got carpet in your gaff, yeah? This is marble floors, right? So as soon as it
fair
drops
enough.
below 25, it's fucking freezing.
Oh, yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's true, yeah.
That's why I got a hoodie on. It's like going outside. I had shorts on that earlier, and I was sat on the patio for a little bit. It was lovely, like beautiful. But as soon as the sun goes down, or just before the sun goes down, and it starts dropping below 20 odd, mate, it is freezing in this apartment. 1 degree. Jesus Christ.
And snowing.
Snowing.
And snowing. Sod that, mate. I've only seen rain 3 times in 5 months, and all 3 of them have been in the last week at night. I love it. You guys need to get out here soon, man. But listen, we're wrapping this up, man. So
cool.
Big up to everybody who's watched live. Appreciate it, each and every one of you. Big up to Jez. Big up to Kenny. Make sure you follow the guys. We're out of here, people. I'll tet her out.